Hello everyone, I'm Cooper and I'm the Youth Minister here at Wild Street Youth. It's great to be doing this part of Youth with you this week. I've got another true story about Jesus, the King of everything, for you this week from Mark's retelling of Jesus' life. There are two kingdoms in this story. See if you can spot them. What are they like? Who are their kings? Let's get into this true story about Jesus right now. This one happens just after Jesus had rescued his closest followers from a crazy storm while they were out on a big lake in a boat. They'd just docked after getting into shore, and when they got out of the boat, there was a man there, and he came from a graveyard to meet Jesus. Graveyard? That's a bit weird. He lived there because he had an unclean spirit possessing him. People wanted to help him, but they just couldn't. He would keep hurting himself and creating chaos, so he couldn't live with other people. People even tried to help him by chaining up his hands and feet so he wouldn't hurt himself, but he'd just break the chains and keep doing it. Night and day, he'd cry out from the tombs in the graveyard. So when he saw Jesus' boat approaching, the man saw it and went running down from the graveyard to Jesus. He ran down and fell on his knees at Jesus' feet. Jesus said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." At the top of his voice, the man yelled, "What do you want with me, Jesus, God's Son, the King? In God's name, don't torture me." Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" The man replied, "My name is Legion, for we are many. Please don't send us out of this area." Legion's another word for an army, by the way. Just then, the demons saw a herd of 2,000 pigs on the hillside near where Jesus and the man were standing. The demons begged Jesus, "Please, send us out to those pigs." So Jesus gave them permission, and the impure spirits went into the pigs. The huge herd of pigs ran down the hill into the lake and drowned. The guys who were looking after the pigs saw this happen and ran off into town and told everyone what happened with the man and the pigs. A bunch of people from the town came out to Jesus. Then they saw the man who had been possessed by the legion of demons that they knew. But he wasn't how he normally was. He was sitting there, dressed, and thinking straight. They were terrified. They begged Jesus to leave immediately. So Jesus started to get into the boat to leave. But just then, the man who was demon-possessed begged Jesus if he could go with him. Jesus said, "No. Go home to your own people and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you." So the man went away and told everyone in his town and in the towns around how much Jesus had done for him. When people heard the man say what Jesus had done, they were amazed. And it'd be pretty hard not to be amazed by hearing what King Jesus had done for this man, hey? In this true story, we get a clear view of life in two kingdoms. We can see a bit of what the first kingdom is like in the man possessed by the army of demons. Being a part of that first kingdom sucks. The man with the impure spirit ended up apart from people, out of control, just hurting himself. This is what the king of the first kingdom does. The man with the impure spirit ended up apart from people, out of control, and hurting himself. This is what the king of the first kingdom does. The man is controlled by demons who are armies of their king, the devil. He causes those in his kingdom to end up in terrible isolation and harm. But in this story, we also see another kingdom. We see this kingdom most clearly in its king. King Jesus has the power to have this army of demons doing whatever he says. He is kind in using his power to have this impure spirit leave the man. Did you see that Jesus, with his loving power, won this battle against the army of demons? This power led to the man being freed from the pain and evil of his old master. Jesus freed him. A bit after this happened, Jesus would defeat the kingdom of Satan once for all. By Jesus dying and rising from being dead, he defeated Satan's kingdom. Jesus freed him. A bit after this happened, Jesus would defeat the kingdom of Satan once and for all. By Jesus dying and rising from being dead, he defeated Satan's kingdom. He defeated what kept the first kingdom afloat, rebellion against God. When people are caught rebelling against a king and wanting to be a part of another kingdom, they can't be a part of that kingdom anymore. They must die for wanting that kingdom to fall. But Jesus, the king of this kingdom, that the rebels wanted to fall, died in their place. Instead of casting off rebels or killing them, Jesus was cast off and died the death that a rebel deserves. He died in their place, taking their punishment. But he didn't remain dead. He came back to life to rule his new kingdom after dismantling the power of Satan's kingdom. Because of Jesus destroying Satan's kingdom and taking the throne to rule over everything, he can now call people who were once rebels to be a part of his good kingdom. And one day, when Jesus returns, Satan and his kingdom will be destroyed forever. Sadly, this means that all people who are a part of Satan's kingdom, still siding with him and rejecting Jesus, will be destroyed too. Make sure you go to Jesus. Make sure you're on the right side. Because Satan's kingdom sucks. People in it are isolated from God. They end up in terrible suffering, just like the king of that kingdom wants. But you don't have to fear Satan or his kingdom, because there's a new king in town. The old kingdom and its king aren't a match for King Jesus. Jesus is too powerful for them. And not even their best attacks can separate the people in Jesus' kingdom from their king. Jesus even turns their best attacks around for the good of his people. So, what are we to do in response to hearing this? Don't be attracted to Satan's lies. Don't side with his kingdom. Because remember, his kingdom leads to separation from God who gives life. It leads to isolation, pain, death. Instead, run to King Jesus, who has paid the price for our rebellion, so that you can be set free from Satan's kingdom. We can now be a part of Jesus' kingdom. He sets his people free from the power of rebellion against God and death. And one day, Jesus is going to put an end to all evil that is a part of Satan's kingdom once and for all. So, run to him. Turn away from the evil king. Love and obey the good king. Just ask him. You can turn away from Satan's kingdom and ask King Jesus now to bring you into his kingdom if you'd like, so that you can live for your new king. See you back at the Zoom chat.